Now, the so-called victims, and they don't name anyone by name in the indictment that's 38 pages long, are protesting the arrest of the man that allegedly scammed them out of $1 billion. They're protesting, and even beyond that, you have so-called alleged victims of Miles Guo offering up money for bail. And yet, the government has denied him bail. Well, I want to bring in, from the new federal state of China, our friend, Nicole Tsai. Nicole, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Grant, for having me.
You're welcome, Nicole. So first off, I want to talk about the bail issue. One, you're an alleged victim. You're an investor in this GTV, an entity launched by Miles Guo. Yet you're here defending him. It seems every victim out there is defending him, even offering up bail money, and yet they're holding him. What is up with this?
Well, this is a total fraud. It's a fraud not by Mr. Miles Guo, but a fraud by the SEC, by the DOJ, and the FBI. Because, hey, I'm a GTV investor. I'm one of the 5,500 GTV investors who have been fraud by the SEC, by the DOJ, and persecuted by the FBI. So we're running support and social media campaign called Free Miles Guo, hashtag Free Miles Guo, because we're not the victims of Mr. Miles Guo. We are the victims of the weaponized SEC, DOJ, FBI, and the U.S. federal government agencies. The CCP has taken complete control of the federal government agencies and used it as a tool to persecute the Chinese dissidents. We are CCP enemy number one. So the CCP would be happy. They're cheering for the successful prosecution of Mr. Miles Guo and for the persecution of all of us, the GTV investors.
Nicole, this is very interesting because I'm looking, okay, they're denying bail to Miles Guo, yet the chief financial officer of Huawei, okay, the princess of China, she is allowed to be sent back to China. She's in Canada. The DOJ wants her because of what? Sending sensitive electronic equipment to Iran is the allegations. You want to talk about something that could be very damaging to American citizens, our absolute enemy, and the DOJ makes a deal to send her back to China. And she gets basically on her own recognizance. I don't know, they dropped the charge, whatever. She's back.
Yeah, so the real criminals are walking free. They're walking the street while the good people are being put in the jail. And let's not forget that today, the CEO of the TikTok was testifying before the U.S. Congress. And in the Washington Post, a Western journalist wrote an opinion piece defending TikTok and explained why banning TikTok on the U.S. soil was wrong. And most ironically, Washington Post also accept the CCP's money, and they did a wraparound advertisement for TikTok. We're talking about Washington Post, a prominent U.S. mainstream media. They're taking the money from the CCP and they're promoting the CCP's propaganda and surveillance tool on the U.S. soil. So in this country, there's a two-tier justice system, one for the CCP and the sellout who are in bed with the CCP, and the other one is for the rest of us. Just look at what happened to General Flynn, to the J6 people, and to the parents who have been characterized by FBI as terrorists. So I'm deeply appalled by what's happening today.
It's interesting because when you sum up all of those things, combined with the CFO of Huawei being sent back to China, the darling of China, they wanted her. John Bolton had something to say about this back in the day. Let me just play his clip because he sums it up pretty well about sending her back to China.
But the deferred prosecution agreement that the U.S. Department of Justice entered into with Meng Wanzhou was a concession that didn't need to be made. I think that that extradition was highly likely, and I think had there been a trial on the merits, Meng would have been convicted of all the counts against her. So to give up in a circumstance like that suggests to me that that there were other considerations involved than strictly the legal considerations.